Have you noticed how tired people seem these days? Not just physically tired, but soul-weary. Even after a full night's rest, you can see it in their eyes. A quiet exhaustion that sleep alone cannot cure. The moment they wake up, before they even leave their beds, their hands instinctively reach for their phones. Scroll after scroll, post after post, searching for something, anything, to make them feel alive. But nothing truly nourishes them. Nothing brings them closer to peace. And so the day begins, not with presence, but with distraction. The question is, why is life like this? What if the problem isn't out there in the world? What if it's how we carry the world within us? We don't just hold our responsibilities, we cling to them. We don't just feel emotions, we recycle them until they become heavy stones in the mind. And all of this unseen weight slowly drains us, moment by moment. The Buddha once said, "You are not punished for your anger, you are punished by your anger." The same is true for worry, guilt, comparison, and the noise we let inside. These are the silent thieves of our energy. But there is another way to live, a simpler, quieter way, where the soul is not in constant battle with the world. Today, I invite you to pause, to breathe, to return to stillness. Because in this video, we'll explore 7 timeless Buddhist lessons that will help you master your energy and reclaim your inner power. And if you stay with me until the end, I have a special bonus lesson for you. A powerful truth that may forever change the way you experience your life, moment by moment. Lesson 1. Awareness. The first gate to power. Imagine wandering through a dense forest at night, with no lantern in your hand. Every step is uncertain. The darkness blurs your path. You stumble, hesitate, and the smallest sound in the distance feels like a threat. Fear grows not because the forest is dangerous, but because you cannot see. This is how many people move through life, not with danger around them, but with blindness within. Their days pass in a fog of habit. Their energy leaks into the noise of the world, and they don't even realize why they're so tired, not just in body, but in spirit. In Buddhism, awareness is called the first gate to power. It's like lighting a lantern inside your mind. Suddenly, everything becomes visible. Your thoughts no longer drag you around like wild horses. You begin to see them for what they are, clouds drifting across a wide sky. Your emotions rise and fall like waves, but you no longer drown in them. You can see where your energy is going, the endless scrolling, the worried thinking, the mental noise that spins in circles but leads nowhere. There's a quiet metaphor in ancient teachings. A mind without awareness is like a vessel with cracks. No matter how much energy you pour in, it seeps away. That's what happens when your day is filled with distractions, shallow conversations, or thoughts rooted in regret and fear. You become exhausted, not from the weight of life itself, but from how you carry your mind through it. But awareness doesn't require you to escape to a distant monastery. It begins in this very moment. Right now, pause. Take a slow, conscious breath. Feel the cool air enter your lungs and leave your body. Notice the ground beneath your feet, the way your body rests in this space. These small check-ins, mindful breathing, quiet observation, gentle noticing. This is how awareness begins to bloom. When a thought appears, don't chase it or run from it. See it as a guest, not one you have to entertain. Let it come and let it go. When an emotion rises, feel it, breathe through it, and let it pass like a bird crossing a vast sky. This is the heart of awareness. Not control, but presence. Not pushing, but allowing. And it is in this presence that your inner energy begins to gather again. In truth, every moment in your day is an invitation. When you drink water, feel its cool touch on your lips. When you walk, feel the quiet strength of the earth beneath you. When you speak, hear your own words. When you listen, listen completely, without planning what to say next. These small acts become sacred when they are infused with awareness. And this awareness, this lamp within, keeps your energy from scattering. It keeps you whole. So ask yourself, with honesty and gentleness, where is your energy flowing today? Is it leaking into anxiety, frustration, or distractions that numb the soul? Or is it flowing into thoughts, actions, and words that bring peace, clarity, and meaning? Remember this: awareness is not just a lesson, it is the ground upon which all other wisdom stands. Without it, even truth remains hidden. But with it, your path begins to shine. And in that light, you can walk through life not as a victim of chaos, but as a calm, rooted presence, filled with clarity, power, and peace. Lesson 2: the discipline of gentle containment. Imagine a serene monastery nestled deep in the mountains, its walls standing firm against the wild winds of the world. At dusk, its gates close softly, not in rejection of life, but in devotion to silence. Within those quiet walls, monks chant with calm voices, candles flicker with gentle light, and stillness reigns. These boundaries are not barriers of fear. They are the guardians of sacred space. They protect what is tender, true, and easily disturbed by the chaos of the world. In much the same way, our inner world needs its own monastery, a space protected by the invisible but powerful discipline of boundaries. Yet so many of us wander through life like open fields. No edges, no protection, no restraint. We let everything in. The noise of others, their expectations, their dramas, it all floods us until the still lake of our spirit becomes a stormy ocean. We say yes when our hearts whisper no. We answer calls when our souls crave silence. We rush through schedules packed with obligations, leaving no time to sit, breathe, or simply be. But Buddhist wisdom teaches this truth. Protecting your energy is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of sacred compassion, a way of honoring your own life. You cannot give from an empty vessel. You cannot serve others in truth if you are disconnected from your own center. Every time you choose rest over obligation, silence over chaos, or solitude over noise, you are pouring medicine into your soul. Learning to say no without guilt is a quiet discipline, a kind of spiritual strength. It is not rejection, but remembrance, remembering what truly nourishes you. Because every time you agree to something that drains you, you are saying no to something else, to your peace, to your balance, to the clarity you need to walk your path with wisdom. You are saying no to the quiet space where insight grows. Boundaries are not built from anger or fear. They are constructed from clarity and love. They are not rigid walls, but sacred thresholds. Like the monastery gate that welcomes pilgrims but turns away chaos, your inner gate must remain open to kindness, connection, and beauty, and closed to gossip, noise, and false urgency. True boundaries are not the act of pushing others away. They are the act of holding yourself close. So reflect gently. Where are the edges of your life softening too thin? Where is the noise of the world entering the temple of your heart? And where might you need to build, with grace and intention, stronger walls of peace? Each time you honor your boundaries, you are sending yourself a message. I matter. My peace matters. My time is sacred. And this quiet act of containment becomes one of the most powerful forms of self-respect and a profound offering of love, both to yourself and to the world around you. Lesson 3: flowing with the current of meaning. Have you ever watched a river meander through valleys, unhurried, steady, and sure of its path? It doesn't force its way forward, nor does it remain still in hesitation. It flows, pulled not by urgency, but by direction. In this way, the river mirrors the most peaceful kind of life, one aligned with purpose. In Buddhist thought, energy that flows toward meaning becomes effortless, like water following its natural course. There is no resistance, only presence. No frenzy, only quiet resolve. But look at how many of us live. Our energy scatters like seeds on concrete. Endless emails, pointless debates, chasing approval from people who barely see us. At the end of the day, we collapse in fatigue, but not fulfillment. It's like watering sand. Everything we give simply disappears, leaving no trace of life behind. The body is busy, but the soul is silent, quietly aching with a question we try to ignore. Isn't there more to life than this? Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us, your purpose is not something the world assigns to you. It is not found in applause, status, or comparison. It is something quieter, something that lives in the core of your being. It is the feeling that arises when your actions and values are in harmony. It is the sense of peace you feel when you're living a life that is honest with your heart. So ask yourself, not with pressure, but with curiosity, what truly breathes life into your spirit? What moments make you feel whole, even in solitude? Perhaps it's creating art, nurturing others, teaching, serving, or simply walking through life with compassion and presence. Your calling does not have to be loud to be powerful. It does not need to impress anyone. It only needs to be true to you. When you align your energy with that truth, life begins to shift. Distractions lose their power. Choices become clearer. The need to prove yourself falls away. You move with intention, not impulse. Each action becomes a quiet prayer, an offering to your deepest self. You are no longer rushing through life, you are flowing with it. But don't wait for a lightning bolt of clarity. Purpose rarely arrives as a grand revelation. It is discovered gently, through daily reflection and honest living. Ask yourself each morning, how can I move through this day in a way that honors what matters most to me? That question alone is a compass, guiding you toward your path. And as you walk that path, your energy becomes like the river again, focused, powerful, serene. No longer wasted, it gathers strength. You feel rooted in who you are. You no longer stretch yourself thin for things that don't matter. Instead, you move forward with calm strength, flowing toward the ocean of your authentic self, steady, peaceful, and whole. Lesson 4. The sacred pause, returning to the flame. Within, imagine a single candle flickering gently in a dark room. Its flame offers warmth, clarity, and comfort. But if left untended, if the wick is never trimmed, if harsh winds are allowed to blow unchecked, its light will falter, its warmth will fade, and eventually it will extinguish. The human spirit is not so different. We too carry a quiet flame within us. And without care, without refuge, without the sacred pause of rest, that inner flame begins to dim. In today's world, exhaustion has become a badge of honor. We glorify the hustle, mistake burnout for success, and see rest as laziness. But Buddhist wisdom speaks a different truth, one that is soft, ancient, and deeply liberating. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom. It is not an escape from life. It is a return to it. Rest, in the Buddhist sense, is not merely collapsing into sleep with a mind racing from worry. It is wakeful, conscious restoration. It is tending to your inner temple with gentleness. Sometimes it looks like seated meditation, watching the breath rise and fall like waves on a still shore. Sometimes it is a slow walk through trees, where the rustling leaves and birdsong become a lullaby for your busy mind. And sometimes it is doing nothing at all, just sitting in stillness, without urgency or shame, and letting yourself be. These small acts, mindful breathing, gentle movement, silent presence, are like trimming the wick of your candle and sheltering it from the winds of the world. They do not take much time, but they carry great power. They bring your mind home. They draw your energy inward. They nourish your spirit so it may shine once more. You see, when you pause and rest in awareness, you do not pull away from the world. You meet it more fully. From that place of peace, You speak more gently, act more thoughtfully, and move through your day with grace rather than struggle. Your very presence becomes a balm to those around you. You are no longer running on fumes, but radiating from fullness. So ask yourself, not out of guilt, but with kindness, when did I last rest? Not because I was exhausted, but because I cherished myself. True rest is not something you earn through suffering. It is your birthright. It is the quiet breath between moments, the stillness between movements, the night that prepares the sky for dawn. Each day, offer yourself this sacred pause. A few moments of stillness, a breath of peace, a return to yourself. Tend to the flame within you with care. Protect it with silence. Feed it with presence. And let your life glow like a well-tended candle, steady, calm, and filled with the light of wisdom and compassion. Lesson 5. The quiet power of those around you. Have you ever noticed how some people enter a room and, without a word, something in you softens? Their presence feels like morning light after a long night, warm, gentle, and quietly healing. And then there are others whose energy speaks louder than their voice. You walk away from them, not with insight, but with a weight you didn't carry before. In Buddhism, the path isn't meant to be walked alone. The Buddha spoke of Sangha, not just as community, but as sacred companionship. These are the ones who help you remember who you are when the noise of the world makes you forget. The truth is, the people we keep around us are not passive. They are mirrors, magnifiers, and sometimes even distractions on the path. Some people multiply your light, not by fixing you, but by simply existing beside you without judgment. They offer quiet encouragement. They honor your silence. They respect your becoming. Being near them, your mind feels calmer, your thoughts clearer, your heart more grounded. They don't rush your healing, they sit with it. And in their company, you grow without even trying. But others, without intention or awareness, can pull you into their storm. They joke with bitterness, speak in fear, or live in constant noise, and slowly, without realizing it, their chaos spills into you. Your energy becomes restless, your thoughts more scattered, your peace harder to find. And you ask yourself, why do I feel so heavy? The answer is often not within you, but around you. This is why choosing your Sangha, your spiritual company, is not an act of superiority. It is an act of care. It is not about judgment, but preservation. Your energy is sacred. Like a delicate seed, it needs fertile soil, not contaminated ground. Surround yourself with those who feel like still water, not because they are perfect, but because they choose peace even in their pain. Be near those who are happy to see you rise, not those who secretly hope you remain small. And it isn't only about people. The spaces you inhabit matter. Your bedroom, your desk, the pages you scroll at midnight, the words you let into your ears, they are all part of your inner world. A cluttered room often reflects a cluttered mind. And your social feed. That's your modern-day Sangha. If it's filled with anger, fear, or artificial noise, your mind will mirror it. But if it offers you stillness, wisdom, and warmth, it becomes part of your practice. Take a few quiet moments today and ask yourself, without resistance, who are the lakes in my life, and who are the storms? Which spaces nourish me, and which ones numb me? This is not about cutting others out. It's about honoring your path. It's about choosing alignment over attachment. Being surrounded by energy multipliers is not loneliness. It is returning to your truth. Walk with those who carry light in their hands, not weapons of doubt. Those who open doors, not build walls. Because peace isn't found in isolation. It's found in intentional connection. And the ones you walk beside are part of your becoming. Lesson 6. Transmute negative energy into wisdom. We often treat our darker emotions as strangers we wish to banish. Anger, fear, sorrow, envy. They arrive uninvited, and instead of greeting them, we slam the door. We pretend we're fine. We wear forced smiles. Or we let those feelings erupt like untamed storms. leaving behind the wreckage of our reactivity. But the Buddha did not teach us to fight our emotions. He taught us to understand them. In Buddhist thought, these emotions are not curses, they are messengers. Beneath their raw surfaces lies the seed of transformation. The very energy that unsettles us also carries the power to awaken us. Imagine anger as a flame. Untouched, it can burn down the forest of your peace. But watched with care, it becomes warmth on a cold night, fire to cook food, light to show you what you've been avoiding. Anger, when mindlessly unleashed, destroys. But when held in the arms of awareness, it becomes courage. It can help you speak a truth you've been swallowing. It can give strength to protect what matters. It can draw the line where your spirit says, enough. And fear? Fear is like a thick fog at dawn. It wraps itself around you, whispering uncertainty into your bones. You feel paralyzed, unsure, lost. But if you don't run, if you simply sit in its hush, you'll see the light slowly pierce through. You'll realize the path was always there. Behind fear often hides love, a deep care for something meaningful. Fear shows you what matters most. It doesn't try to stop you. It tries to prepare you to move forward with your eyes open. So how do we begin this transformation? Not by force, but by presence. When you feel anger rising, don't lash out or shove it down. Pause. Notice where it lives in your body. Is your breath shallow? Is your chest tight? Bring your awareness there, not to fix it, but to feel it. Ask gently, what is this anger showing me? Perhaps it points to a wound you've ignored, or a boundary you've let others cross. With mindfulness, anger becomes your guide, not your jailer. When fear visits, don't turn away. Invite it in. Sit with it. Listen to what it's trying to say. Sometimes fear appears when you're standing on the edge of growth, right before a leap your soul is ready to make. In that trembling, you'll find the outlines of a deeper purpose. This is the essence of transmutation, seeing what was once rejected as sacred. Sadness becomes the birthplace of empathy. Jealousy becomes a signal of your own unlived potential. Even shame, when met with love, softens into humility and healing. You are not here to conquer your emotions. You are here to companion them, like wise travelers who've come bearing ancient truths. Begin with acceptance. The moment you stop judging your feelings, you stop feeding them. The moment you allow them, they soften. They begin to speak. And through that conversation, wisdom arises, not from the outside, but from within. Today, take a quiet breath and ask, what emotion have I been fighting? Sit with it. Don't fix it. Just be with it, like a friend who needs to be heard. The great masters of the past did not transcend pain by avoiding it. They became alchemists, turning sorrow into compassion, anger into clarity, fear into strength. And you too can walk that path. Begin, as always, by breathing, then by listening, then by loving even the parts of yourself that ache. Lesson 7. Gratitude and presence. The twin jewels. There are two quiet treasures that often go unnoticed in the noise of our lives. Gratitude and presence. They do not shout, they do not demand, but they remain, like twin lotus flowers blooming in the murky waters of everyday struggle, reminding us that peace and beauty do not wait for perfection. They arise from within, even in the midst of imperfection. Gratitude is the tender act of seeing the flower in the mud. It is not naive, it is courageous. It chooses to notice what is gentle, what is kind, what is still standing, even when life feels uncertain. It is the subtle shift from longing to enough, from lack to abundance. As you begin to live in gratitude, you start to notice the tiny miracles, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the softness of your own breath, the kindness in a stranger's glance, or the quiet presence of a tree that has stood in stillness longer than you've been alive. These are not grand events, but they are real, and they are enough. The untrained mind wanders constantly, searching for what's wrong, what's missing, what might go wrong next. But gratitude interrupts this habit. It doesn't deny difficulty. It simply redirects your attention toward what is good, here, now. And slowly, your heart becomes softer. Your eyes begin to see more clearly. Your soul begins to rest. Presence is the other jewel. If gratitude teaches you to see the flower, presence allows you to feel the water around it. It brings you into direct contact with this moment. Not the idea of it, but the experience of it. Presence is not about clinging or escaping. It is about allowing life to pass through you without resistance. When you are present, your breath becomes sacred. Your footsteps become prayers. Even silence becomes music. You are not trying to fix the moment. You are simply being with it. Presence reminds you that peace is never in the past you mourn or the future you chase. It is here, in the simplicity of now, in the sound of birdsong, the weight of your body resting on the ground, the pause between two heartbeats. Gratitude opens your eyes. Presence opens your heart. One shows you the beauty around you, the other helps you receive it fully. When practiced together, they transform your entire way of being. You stop running, you stop yearning, you begin to arrive again and again into the richness of this life. So take a breath. Gently ask yourself, what is one small thing I am grateful for in this moment? And then ask, am I truly here, or has my mind drifted elsewhere? The lotus does not bloom by avoiding the mud. It rises through it, slowly and silently. And you too can rise. When you root yourself in these two timeless jewels, gratitude for what is and presence with what is here, you begin to bloom quietly and completely in the stillness of your own life. Bonus lesson: do less, live deeper. The hidden strength of simplicity. Have you ever noticed how the tallest trees don't sway wildly, but stand with quiet dignity? Or how the deepest rivers don't rush, but move with a steady grace? The most peaceful souls in this world rarely shout. They don't rush, compete, or clamor for attention. And yet, their presence speaks volumes. That is the quiet strength of simplicity, the deep, unseen wisdom of doing less, but living more fully. We live in a world that glorifies motion. Tiredness has become a trophy. Our worth is measured in how full our calendars are, how many tabs we have open, how fast we can go. But the Buddha's teachings whisper a different truth. Chasing more does not lead to peace. It leads to noise. The more you grasp for life, the more stillness slips from your fingers. What if, instead, you stopped running? What if your life became less about addition and more about subtraction? Doing less is not about abandoning your dreams or becoming passive. It's about cutting away what is not essential, so what is truly meaningful has space to breathe. Like a gardener pruning away the dying branches, simplicity allows your life to flourish where it matters. It clears the soil of your mind, making room for calm, focus, and depth. Try asking yourself gently and honestly, if I could only do 3 things today that truly matter to my heart and my growth, what would they be? Then release the rest. Let go of the unnecessary. Say no to the noise. You may feel discomfort at first, a fear of falling behind, a fear of being forgotten. But beyond that fear lies freedom, the kind of freedom that doesn't shout, but whispers peace into every breath you take. You begin to see that a single moment, lived with quiet presence, can nourish you more than 100 moments rushed and forgotten. A slow sip of tea, a walk without distraction, a conversation without checking the clock. These simple acts, lived with awareness, become sacred. The sun does not rush to rise, yet its warmth touches the entire world. You don't have to do everything. You only need to do what matters deeply, fully, and with love. So today, choose to slow down. Not because you are weak, but because you are wise. Sit with yourself in silence. Be with what is here. Walk a little slower, breathe a little deeper. Listen without needing to reply, and know that your value has never been in your productivity, but in your presence. in how gently you touch the world and how deeply you allow life to touch you. Let your life be like the lotus, not frantic, not forced, but rooted in stillness, blooming quietly, rising through the mud, and offering your calm, radiant self to the world without needing to be more than you already are. Conclusion: in the quiet teachings of Buddhism, we are reminded that the deepest transformations often come not through force, but through stillness, not through control, but through understanding. Every lesson you've just heard, whether about transmuting pain into wisdom or cultivating presence and gratitude, leads back to one essential truth. Everything you need is already within you. Peace is not a destination, it's a way of walking. Freedom is not found in escape, but in acceptance. And wisdom does not arrive in lightning strikes, but in soft, steady moments of seeing life clearly. You don't need to fix yourself. You are not broken. You are becoming. Each breath, each pause, each quiet decision to return to yourself is a step on the path. And every step taken in mindfulness, no matter how small, is sacred. So if these words stirred something in you, don't let them fade. Begin today, gently. Choose one idea that resonated with your heart. Sit with it, live it, let it change how you move through the world, and trust deeply that even the smallest change, rooted in awareness, creates ripples across your life. If you found value in this journey, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep walking this path together toward stillness, toward clarity, toward wholeness. Leave a comment below and share which lesson spoke to you most. Your story might just be the light someone else needs. Until next time, stay gentle, stay present, and remember, even